Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to yet another episode of the Jock podcast. We are proud to be part of the Koala Cola Podcast Network. It tastes... Okay, really? Am I going to have to say this every single episode?
Yes.
Wait, for real?
Yes.
Okay, it tastes just like Down Under. Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, part of the Koala Cola Network, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as intraductal papillary mucinous neoplasm and Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, so I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer Cameron.
Ooh, hey, Dr. London.
Hey!
Ooh.
Oh, okay, is this new energy for the, for this recent... the sponsor? I should...
Oh, well, I mean, I'm obligated to say that, yes, I always have a positive attitude and a positive outlook on Koala Cola. Tastes just like Down Under.
Yes, it tastes just like Down Under.
There's no question about that. Thank you, Crampy the Koala. Mm-hmm. No, I'm just in a good mood. I believe today is my lucky day. Like, I always hear about that, like people saying like, "Oh, it's my lucky day," and I was like, I don't know when mine is. But I think it's today, Dr. London.
So when you won the lottery...
Yeah, no, but see, here's the thing about that, is that if I had
stubbed your toe
kept
that day.
that money for a long... Well, if that money had lasted longer, I would have considered that lucky.
Okay, yeah, so the $300 million, you did squander it pretty quickly.
And it brought so many fake friends.
Yeah,
and I hate
just
fake
everyone...
friends.
Yeah, but you did...
So that was maybe one of the least lucky days I've ever had. No, today was more like... so I've been eating out of this hole lately. And it's not like meals, but just like snacks that I'm eating out of this hole. But so I was doing that today. And you know what I found in there? Not just the normal snacks that sometimes I find on there, but I found a dime. I found a lucky dime. But of course, I don't think that's serious. I'm not a superstitious person. I don't think just because I found a dime in my eating hole that I am going to have just like the best day ever. But then later, I'm crossing the street and this car almost hits me, swerves, hits another car instead.
Wow. A miracle, I guess is what you're calling that.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And then, like, I almost fell into, like, the ravine earlier.
I'm sorry, did you call anyone after you saw that?
Because
I know you were...
Who?
I saw the live feed that you had of it, and you were saying, like, oh, man, this car wreck, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, who would I call about?
So, emergency services?
No, that's who I would call. Who would I call about? I'm calling 911 just to talk about how my lucky day?
No, I mean, whenever you saw the car accident, the miracle that you live streamed for everyone, and you were saying like, "Wow, look at how crazy this wreck is," and people were, bleeding out, and it blew up. Was there any thought in your mind like maybe I should call?
No, this miracle is about me. It's not about other people. Yeah.
Okay.
This is my miracle.
Okay, I guess that's. Okay.
I almost fell into a ravine, but I didn't, which was great.
Okay.
Which that was like the second thing. And then the third thing was that my dad, he was eating out of this hole. And then he found a nickel, which is probably not as good. But that's... three things can't be a coincidence, Dr. London. This is my lucky day. This is going to be the best day of my life.
Okay, yeah. It just so for a lot of people, like they think that winning the lottery would really do it for them.
No.
But for you, it's the day that you watched 6 people die, and you narrowly avoided getting killed multiple times.
Just falling into a ravine, yeah.
Yeah, and that you found...
for a while when I was standing under that piano that was hanging by a crane.
Yeah.
and I was like throwing tennis balls at it, just trying to like bounce it off the bottom of it.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yeah, I moved right out of the way. Like there was like a person in my way, and so I was like, move, and so like I shoved them to get out of the way because I was trying to get further in the line at the hot dog cart, and it fell on that person that I shoved instead of on me. And so I'm like, okay, this has to be my lucky day.
Okay, yeah. So what was it 7 deaths that you? Okay, okay, yeah. So your lucky day. Okay, and I guess so. Now I'm a little bit apprehensive because if so many people near you died today,
you think I'm taking up all the luck, and so you're not gonna have any luck for yourself.
Just like the bare minimum amount of luck where I don't get killed over it. But yeah. Anyway, but I'm sure, I'm not really that superstitious of a person. So I get it'd be dumb for me to put much stock in this. So, we'll go ahead and move on.
I shot this rocket off, right? So I've been messing around with these rockets lately, and so I shot this little rocket off, and it landed on my house, and then the hole it burned in the roof was only like this big, Dr. London. You can't see it on the podcast, but it's very small.
Yeah.
And so that's a miracle, Dr. London. This is how lucky I am.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, seeing the positive aspects of things is always a good thing. So anyway, so that's our producer Cameron. Also with us is Digital in the house. Digital in the house. Digital in the house.
This is going to be the best day of my life. This is going to be the best day of my life. This is going to be the best day of my life. This is going to be the best day.
And later, Cameron tells us that we can expect a special guest.
That's right, Dr. Linden.
All right, so look forward to that. But before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. So one lucky koala Coke enthusiast scraped off enough of the paint label from a koala cola cans to send it in for a chance at some medical advice on the podcast.
That's right. It's 1 million paint scrapings.
Or a pound.
A pound of paint scrapings from the koala cola cans. Mm-hmm. Definitely don't, consume the paint scrapings in any form.
No, we should go ahead and say right now, I think it's worth saying that there's no koala in koala cola. There are no bits of animal parts.
So people keep bringing this up. They keep saying that the more you bring this up, the more we're convinced that there's koala in koala cola. But that's the opposite, because we're saying there is no koalas in koala cola.
No.
So to walk away from that and think, well, now it sounds like there must be koalas in koala cola. That's the opposite.
That doesn't make sense.
That's illogical. That's the opposite of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and it is one of those lessons where people just try to hear what they want to hear. Yeah. And I don't know why these sick people want to hear that there are animal parts in their drink.
If that's part of your diet, that's fine. That's fine. You do you. I don't know what it's like in Australia. I don't know if you just hunt koalas and just eat them for sport. No idea. But I can tell you that there's none in this delicious, delicious cola that tastes just like Down Under.
It tastes just like Down Under.
Thank you, Crampy.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so that was just something I wanted to note real quick. So anyway, so for the note from that lucky listener, that lucky consumer of Koala Cola, it said, "Casey, this is your aunt. Please call me." End quote.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess we can just I guess we're talking straight to Casey's aunt here.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I guess this is kind of like at the grocery store where, if you're a little kid and you lose your parents, then you just go up and you ask them to say on the loudspeaker, they're at the front. So in this case, I would say...
You're saying
Casey,
that there's probably like a few Food Lions around the country that are playing our podcast.
Yeah. And so if, Casey, I know you're in one of these food lines, so if you could go ahead and call your aunt... that'd be great. I'm really glad that your aunt took the time to scrape off so many labels from cans, send in a pound of those, and to get the word out. So anyway, thank you so much for reaching out and for being that lucky winner of that competition for Koala Cola.
And you're actually doing that with all of your patients, right? All of your patients sort of have to win their way into your office.
Yeah, that's right. So it's one of those things where, people say like, oh, I barely get any FaceTime with a doctor. I only get 5-10 minutes. So for me, with the system I've developed over time, and this is just experience, you'll have patients who, there's so many of them. And if you can just get them to scrape off the aluminum, scrape off the lead paint, scrape off the whatever, send that in through a formal system, then it really streamlines the process of providing medical care. So that's just you've had to turn people away who have come with sort of medical ailments but they don't have the scrapings. Yeah, they'll say like, I'm insured.
Yeah.
So I can pay you cash if you need that. And I'm like, well, there's I appreciate it, but
that's
this is a formal office visit.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not you have the proper channels. So
if you really cared, you'd be prepared when you showed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you care about your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm sorry to.
No. Yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't.
It's the healthcare industry at large, and like I get that it's kind of a broken system, but this is sort of just where we're at. Yeah. This is how it functions. So, some people are for universal healthcare. I'm saying that sure, if it fixes this problem, I'm all for it. Yeah. If it'll solve the problem, people having to enter into a Australian cola contest in order to reach me, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening in the short term. So let's work with what we got. In any case, to this listener, thank you for listening. Now for today's medical topic, primary sclerosing cholangitis. Primary sclerosing cholangitis, along with some of the other topics that we've been covering, is a cause of liver cirrhosis. So primary sclerosing cholangitis is a chronic idiopathic progressive disease of the bile ducts characterized by thickening of the bile ducts and narrowing of their lumens. So it can lead to cirrhosis, portal hypertension, and liver failure. And for those who aren't aware of the anatomy, it's the liver sends out some bile to the gallbladder, or if you don't have a gallbladder, then it just sends it out through the bile ducts into the digestive tract and the duodenum. And so this primary sclerosing cholangitis messes with that system, the bile duct wall. There's a strong association with ulcerative colitis and irritable bowel diseases. And it's important to note that even if you do a colectomy for ulcerative colitis, the primary sclerosing cholangitis will remain unaffected by such a treatment. So you fix one problem, it doesn't fix this one.
So your job is useless.
Yes.
So my job isn't usually to do the colectomy. But I guess you are getting the spoiler on treatment. But first,
is that just doctors, like just in general? So it doesn't really matter if people come to you with all these can scrapings, because it's sort of, you're just going to say there's nothing we can do.
It depends.
No matter what, little girl comes in and she says, I've got a scraped knee, and you say there's nothing we can do. You have 6 months. Is that right?
It's it depends on the scraped knee. It depends on all that. Like I can't tell you specifically, in part because you haven't collected the scrapings, Cameron. So
right, yeah,
it's not I can't really.
You'd be giving out free advice, which you can't do. That's a legal gray area.
Contractually,
right?
I can't. No, especially not with Koala Cola now as being our network. Clinically, patients may present first with ulcerative colitis to the extent that ulcerative colitis it just dominates the clinical picture. However, chronic cholestasis findings will emerge, including jaundice and pruritus. And that's jaundice is the yellowing of the skin and the sclera of the eyes, and then pruritus is the itching. They're itching from the bile buildup. From the bilirubin. So all patients eventually present with chronic obstructive jaundice. They may also experience fatigue, malaise, and weight loss. Laboratory studies can show elevated alkaline phosphatase, which is typical for biliary disease, along with elevated GGTP and bilirubin level. However, bilirubin level can be normal in early disease. So once again, to emphasize, the ulcerative colitis might be what you present with, which is, blood and pain and poop.
Well, and again, let's go ahead and stress that if you're having any of these sort of like symptoms or anything like that, there's nothing your doctor can do that can't help you. And so there's no reason. This is more about learning for an educational purpose, like just to know what's currently ravishing your body.
Yeah, so diagnostic testing includes MRCP or ERCP, ERCP being the most accurate, which will reveal beading, narrowing, or strictures in the biliary system. And that's the classic beads on a string appearance, which, all of our med student listeners who are the children is who it's marketed to, but the up-and-coming medical students, they'll look for that on tests potentially. MRCP,
So
and that's like an MRI, but
when you see that in a patient comes in, they're sweating a lot, you see the beads of sweat, you say, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I'm so sorry, there is absolutely nothing I can do. You have 6 months to live.
Yeah, and that is a classic line from doctors, that you have 6 months to live, but sometimes it's less. In any case, MRCP is generally done because there's no therapeutic need for ERCP. Of note,
because it's not going to do anything anyway, because as we're confirming over and over again in this medical lesson, doctors don't do anything. There's nothing they can do. The only thing they can do is tell you have 6 months to live.
So, of note, primary sclerosing cholangitis is the only cause of cirrhosis for which a biopsy is not the most accurate test. So
it all ends up being irrelevant anyway, because no matter how detailed and accurate the test is, the only response and conclusion you can come to as a doctor is, I'm so sorry about that, that your liver hurts so bad right now. There's nothing we can do. So, you have 6 months to live.
Okay, so the treatment. So there is no effective treatment for primary sclerosing cholangitis apart from liver transplant that may be required. Treatment is symptomatic for the pruritus with cholestyramine and osteoporosis with calcium bisphosphonates and vitamin D. Ursodeoxycholic acid may slow the progression of the disease, but this is, for whatever reason, I don't know how you really guessed this one, but yeah, we don't have the transplant is the treatment.
How was I able to guess that doctors don't do anything and that it's all just a big scam and it's a failure? I wonder how I was able to guess that.
Okay. We can... It tastes just like down under. Okay, thank you.
I don't like that you and Crampy seem to have some sort of a deal where he bails you out anytime there's an uncomfortable situation. You're presented with sort of a difficult scenario. Suddenly, Crampy just is, he's yelling.
I was going to say, we can just move on.
Seems like you've talked about this.
Me and Crampy? Look, this Crampy's here to just make sure everything's great, everyone's happy.
But are you guys hanging out, outside of the podcast without me? Just you two?
It's not personal. It's just we have a lot more business stuff to talk about. So it's
Oh, okay. It's just business.
It's not just business, but that's how the tax it's tax deductible because we do at some point in the conversation business stuff is mentioned, but it's
what's tax deductible?
Well,
what are the expenses?
Well, for one thing, the elaborate meals, the shows we've been to, mean, to make a list. So we've whenever we fly to conferences, the Koala Cola Jock Doc podcast show the stadium that we sold out. He and I, managed that. That was
okay. That's fine.
Oh,
that's fine.
Good. Yeah. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
No, just there's no, I don't have feelings, so they can't be hurt.
Great. I don't really see. So it's just business. We just talk. So
I don't even know how to respond to that because I don't have feelings. I'm not a real human apparently, and I don't have real friends people who don't invite me to fly on a private jet to a conference. Apparently, I'm just not.
Okay, and I should clarify, it wasn't a private jet because we did share the jet with a few other celebrities. So it was private in a sense, but it was a shared jet. It wasn't just us on the jet. If that's what you're trying to imply. It was
private and also an amazing networking opportunity, huh?
Yeah, just Paul McCartney, Bono, just a few of the potential clients. So, but it's not I don't want you to take it as a weird exclusive thing.
No, it's just y'all want to hang out with all these people and not with other people. That's fine.
For business, I don't know how to put it any more clearly. Just that's the way of it.
It's fine. DJ Dylan and we're going to the beach later. So
nope.
Okay. I mean, if it's personal, then I'm gonna
he's
be
gonna
hurt.
teach me how to surf.
That sounds very perfect.
And so it's not gonna be like last time.
Whatever, yeah. Because you were learning to boogie board last time, and also you didn't bring a boogie board, but you thought I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I sort of was. I guess I sort of thought that the idea of a boogie board is that you're boogieing, so you're sort of dancing.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I don't need a board to do that. I can do that by myself.
And you also,
And I did for a real long time.
Yeah. And you also didn't go to the beach for it either.
Oh, no. God, no. I would never.
Yeah. Okay, anyway.
Oh, I mean, I am. I definitely am with DJ Dylan.
Well, okay, well, we can move on from there if that's all right.
Okay,
I don't want to,
I guess.
dwell on it. It seems to be troubling you I cannot tell why. Okay. Hi, so Cameron, I know, I sense that things are kind of tense, but
it's not tense. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day.
Okay.
I'm lucky that my friends are partying without me.
It tastes just like down under, and the conference was so fun. Hey, let's I think that Cameron's dealing with something private. I don't know. In any case, we have a guest today. Is that right, Cameron?
We do have a guest, Dr. London. We have a fantastic guest. Top 10 material.
Okay, because so last week we had Donald Glover.
Yeah.
On the podcast, and so I'm assuming it's on the same level of whatever it's a.
I think there's a lot of context involved. You know what I mean? Whoever the most famous hacky sack player is. To people who play hacky sack professionally, that person's probably their Michael Jordan, right? So to them, that's the biggest celebrity. But maybe if you're not into hacky sack and you're more into devil sticks, then you might not know that guy as well.
Okay, so you're saying just famous depending on which crowds you run with. Okay,
exactly.
Okay, so anyway, hello there. My name is drlennonsmith.com, and this is our producer Cameron. What was your name?
Hey guys, this is a huge honor for me. I just want to thank you. My name is Mike.
Okay.
Hey,
great.
Mike. What brings you to the show?
Well,
I love your energy. You're just you're already into it.
Oh, totally. I listened to your podcast back when it was on the Casey Anthony Network.
Wow.
Whoa. That was a long time ago.
So long ago.
Yeah, and then you guys disappeared. I didn't know where you went.
Oh, if it wasn't on that network, you didn't know where to find your podcast.
Totally. That's the only place I know to look.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I mean, thank you for coming on the show.
Totally. In my circles, people know me as Magic Mike because I grow mushrooms.
So okay, and I get this. Okay, so Cameron,
Yeah.
whenever you were trying to downplay it, but we got Magic Mike on this week.
Totally. And don't
Wow.
think I'm the guy that gets naked and prances around the stage for the ladies, okay? I impress ladies in a different way.
Yeah.
I impress them with my mushrooms.
Yeah. You don't have pants on, I will say.
No.
Like right now.
Well, you didn't tell me this was a pants-only podcast. Sorry.
Did you
And
not
that's
include
not a rule.
Yeah, did you not
That's
include
not a
that
rule.
in the email, Dr. London? That's not
No, it's one of those. So, and you weren't on the plane. Okay, so we with a certain level of celebrity stardom, and whenever you rise to this level of prestige, you start to sort of expand what you're open to. And I know that you were saying that we should all, wear clothes. You said that we should all wear tarps on top of our regular clothes. You just kept saying modest is hottest, but I think you said that so many times that it was becoming very kind of uncomfortable. Like you were really into modesty.
modest is hottest, yeah.
I love
Wear
that.
more, don't be a whore.
Wow. Well, I thought because it's just us guys, I could just wear my boxer briefs. I've got kind of like an ingrown hair situation on the inside of my knees, so I'm trying to
Yeah, I
air
see
it
that.
out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
Yeah. That's
I mean,
medically the best
Yeah, to
way.
say it's very long for being ingrown. Like it must be ingrown and also outgrown because it's sticking out of the bottom of your
Yeah, it's like a half-seat
your
situation.
boxers there. Yeah.
Totally. Well, guys,
Well,
I'm here
Yeah, what brings you to?
to
Yeah, what brings you here?
I'm here to tell you about what I do. I grow mushrooms, like I said, also known as mushies, shrooms, blue meanies, golden tops, liberty caps, philosopher's stones, liberties, amani, and agaric.
Whoa.
Are you sure those are the only names for it? Like, isn't there like, what is it, psilocybin or something?
Oh, yes. Very good. I knew the doctor was gonna bring up psilocybin. Psilocybin is the compound found in psychedelics, specifically magic mushrooms. Psilocybin is classified as a Schedule 1 drug, meaning that it has a high potential for misuse and has no currently accepted medical use in treatment in the United States, which I think is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, surely there must be some sort of medical benefit to mushrooms, right? I mean,
Well, there's
your brain's
definitely-
freaking out, so surely that's got to do something.
Yeah, it's like when you're working out, you're lifting weights. Your muscles hurt after because they're freaking out. But that's how they
Exactly.
grow, and that's how the brain works too.
Okay, so, I mean, I know that it's not a first line drug for sure, but there are, some experiments going on, some clinical trials going on for, I get what's more commonly known as shrooms, but that sort of compound. And they're being used for maybe PTSD, I think, as a third line, or everything else has failed. How do we help these people? Is that what you're about, or is it? Because it sounds the way you describe it, it sounds maybe you're more into the recreational side.
Exactly. But if the cops ask you, no. But if you ask me, I tell you, I grow them in my apartment, in my bedroom. And my favorite thing, when I bring home a girl to,
Take
I get-
mushrooms.
well, and it may be, I don't only bring home girls who do mushrooms, but when I do,
What else do you bring
I
them
sell
home
it
for?
to them full price. Doctor,
Did,
a little hanky-panky.
I guess I don't follow. So
It's like a dance.
okay, and you have to have a girl to do that.
Now you need the
Yes.
birds and the bees.
Oh, so now we're bringing animals in. Okay, so I guess I just don't follow, but
Okay, wait. How about this, Cameron? Can we just talk just me and you for a second?
Do you want me
Can we
to-
have a sidebar?
Yeah, I'm really sorry. Dr. London, we
I'll just
talked
play
about
on
this
my
a
phone.
little on this past episode, but he's currently dating someone right now. He's dating Krampus Kardashian,
Okay.
which is a pretty big deal, but I think it's just for publicity. Like, I'm pretty sure it's a PR relationship.
Really, that happens? I think Krampus is the hottest one.
It's I mean, don't get me wrong, like she's an A-list celeb. Like her beauty line, her makeup line, her hooves, like these are all iconic things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think Dr. London knows about a lot of things.
Like
the
sex?
hanky-panky
Does he
dance.
not do sex? Does this guy not get laid, Cameron?
I am gonna again. He's gonna pretend like he does. He's not gonna know what that word means, but he's gonna immediately say yes because he doesn't want to feel left out.
Okay, let's
But-
go. Let's go ask him where babies come from. See what he says.
I'm not exactly sure if he's gonna know.
Doctor, come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put down your phone, Dr. London.
Well, no, it's this actually really cool thing. Like I'm glad you had me do this while you guys were talking about whatever, because it's like a continuing medical education game, so you can actually like practice clearing out stuff from the lungs, like you would actually do in a procedure.
Dr. London, do you know where little babies come from?
Yeah, Siberia.
No, not just little babies.
Sorry,
Dr.
not just.
London,
there are also tigers that
tell
come
us.
from Siberia. So I'm sorry to not list everything, but it was a specific question.
Where do human American babies come from?
Ooh, okay. No, that's good.
Stumped you there, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to think through the immigration channels. For
Well,
them to.
This
He do-
guy
this is
doesn't
what I'm
know
saying.
how to do
Okay,
sex.
so-
We're
there's
gonna have
no
to
way
tell
that
him.
and Krampus Kardashian are having a real relationship. I'm just saying.
Wait, hold on.
I know it's not polite to kiss and tell, but have you and Krampus
I guess I don't. So, I want to clarify something here. So we weren't the first people in this country, and so we had to bring people in. Like there were natives, but generally, like I'm one of the people who immigrated, and so everyone from.
Yeah, this is.
If you want more people.
It's not an immigration thing. You seem to have gone back to the immigration thing. But it's,
Well, so if
it's
you
not.
want more people, you bring in more people. I don't see what's.
It's,
They don't have to be from
Dr.
Siberia.
London.
I
This
shouldn't
is-
have said
I-
that. Like they can be from
Mike. I appreciate.
Sweden.
Mike, I appreciate you trying to help. It's never gonna work. It's never gonna
Uganda.
get into his skull. But
Mozambique.
How did this guy go through medical school and he never took basic human
well, the
health?
medical school I think was like a blog. I don't think it exists anymore, but I think it was mostly just a blog that he was like a moderator.
I would
of.
say, hold on. I know basic human health. So, you want to keep a high vegetable diet. You want to go low meats because actually, I don't know if you're aware of this, but like heart attacks are relatively new.
We can't go into what Dr. London thinks people should eat. Mike. Okay, we're talking about. I mean, Mike, you are something of a doctor yourself. It sounds like because you're.
It sounds like
Yeah,
it.
because-
because at least I know what pain in vagine is, okay? Dr. London, do you have a birthday?
Ooh, that's a good question. On me?
Do you celebrate the day of your birth?
Yes, yeah. You're talking about
I think
Christmas.
if you had a birthday, I would know about it, right?
I don't tell you every. You know what? Okay. Now, Cranby, I don't want you to spill the beans on any of this stuff because I know we've talked, but I don't want. I know his birthday. No, hey. So I don't.
I'm not interested. I didn't say I was interested.
Okay. So I'm. I'm not always considered to be a religious person, so I don't celebrate every specific tradition like this. So if. But like I have so much respect for the cultures that do. So.
Birthdays are not a religious holiday. It's the day you came out of your mother's vagine.
And once again, so like, and I don't know if is that Buddhist or Hindu. So it's great. It's so great that you have this, and I love it. And if you have this celebration, I would love to be a part. and just whichever way I'll have to read up on it to know how to do so from my cultural perspective, but my worldview. But there's gonna be a learning process on my part, is all I'm saying. So, but I'm so excited to learn.
Yeah, Mike, I promise you, we can keep hammering this. It is never going to get into his brain. I think he's blocked it off.
This is crazy. All right. I'll leave it alone. I just really wanted to try and get to the bottom of it, but it doesn't sound like we're gonna.
Is there a bottom to a bottomless well? Just a hole that keeps on going. It's not like the hole that I've been eating out of lately.
Yeah, I want to clarify that. Like, it's fine if you believe in that stuff, and I don't want to sound like I'm being overbearing or critical of it. Like, I think it's great. It's just not my personal thing. Like, voting politically, I will vote for that. For you to have the right to celebrate the birthday, but I personally,
oh my god,
Dr. Lennon, no one's trying to take you down. You're not being canceled for not knowing what your birthday is. It's okay.
Well, anyway, I'm here to talk about my zine. I have a zine on mushrooms coming out called Magic Mike's Magic Mushrooms.
So it's a limousine or a
It's like a magazine.
Okay. It's like a magazine.
But it's made using a home printer.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just like a series of like pieces of paper that you're stapling together, which is functionally a magazine.
Yeah.
So what
exactly?
But what's in it? I mean, is it just pictures of mushrooms? Or are you talking about your favorite mushrooms, or what's going on in it?
It's like some poetry about my mushrooms.
Oh.
There's
so by about your mushrooms, is this poetry describing what your mushrooms are, or is this like poetry you've written while taking mushrooms?
Both. Let me read one.
Okay. Yeah.
Dear Mike Tyson, you're my favorite shroom. My little golden top, my knockout guy. Every time I eat you, you knock me out. Just like Mike Tyson would if we were to bout.
Oh, wow.
It even rhymed.
Yeah, at the end there it did.
But so is there like a type of mushroom that's called Mike Tyson, or is this something you've named a mushroom?
It's just one of my baby little mushrooms.
Okay,
this
is your personal name. You saw this mushroom and you're like, oh yeah, that's Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I named him that after I ate him and he knocked me the out.
What are the other names though?
Well, I got Mike Tyson, I got Agatha Christie,
right.
I got my fairy godmother, I got Lady Liberty.
I want to hear with Agatha Christie. You say that you named the Mike Tyson one because it, punches you out just like Mike Tyson would. What does the Agatha Christie one do?
I just never know how she's gonna turn out.
Are these the names of, I guess, the strains of mushroom, or is this each one you eat them and then?
Yeah, they're strains, and I mate them together, and then I eat their children, and then I decide how their children makes me feel. And yeah, Agatha Christie's a toss-up. Every time you take her, you're like, I don't know how this is gonna end.
So it's like a mystery.
Yeah.
Okay.
But whereas the Lady Liberty feels like maybe like a gift from France, or is that?
No, it's just very freeing. Oh. And sometimes you hear bells, like the Liberty Bell.
Wow. Yeah. And I can imagine the medical properties of something like that, of finally being able to hear bells all the time.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be the first drug that does that. So.
Really?
Yeah. There's some things that can cause tinnitus. I don't want to steal your thunder, because it's actually it's sometimes seen as a negative. Like that's not seen as the most helpful thing. But maybe it's okay. You sound very
you don't like
unsure
that.
now. Like, is that?
No, it to me it sounds like a parade.
Okay.
I feel like I'm at a parade and I get happy.
Okay, so So whenever you take it and you're hearing this ringing noise in your ears, what you're thinking is it's a parade,
Yeah,
which granted we've
People
been
are
without them.
celebrating me.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, and I eat. Sometimes I eat a shroom and I'm like, I don't know who that was, and then I hear bells and I'm like, oh, Lady Liberty, I feel so free.
Okay.
Wow. So what else? So is it just poems? Is that the only thing in this magazine?
And sometimes I will press my mushrooms in a book,
Oh.
like a pressed flower,
Oh, yeah.
and I'll tuck them in there. You can eat them or you can plant them. Up to you.
Okay.
I feel like you need more in a magazine. I'm just going to throw that out there.
No, you don't.
I'm sorry. Have you started releasing these already? Did you say, or are they going to be
My
released?
first one comes out this May 2021.
Okay.
I don't know which day. It's a surprise.
Okay. Because so today I believe it's May 24th. So
You've really only
It's
got a
gonna
couple
be-
days left.
yeah,
Maybe I'll do tomorrow. What's tomorrow?
May 25th. Okay.
Okay,
So- and
that's
a
what it'll
Tuesday.
be. I'll finish it tonight. I'll pull an all-nighter, and I'll release it tomorrow. Perfect.
Great. So, so we asked more just because we assumed that you were putting us out. You could, if you have criticisms, like maybe there's some validity to what Cameron was saying about the length of it and the content.
Yeah, no, I think there could be a larger
Well, just-
or variety of things.
Well, you could take the week to maybe flesh out
Okay.
something. Maybe we can help you. Is one thing I'm getting at here.
Okay. Well, why don't you two do a poem about the first
so
time
one
you
thing
did
we were trying to
shrooms?
avoid here was the poem thing because we felt like that was pretty covered. But
You think that instead of another poem, we should do a ska song?
yes, that's what I was gonna suggest
Okay.
next.
So,
But
I would love to have a ska song
so
in
do
my
you want?
scene.
I'll go.
So, does that need lyrics or is that good on its own?
I think that's pretty good, and I think we can
just like down under.
sort of like those
Okay.
cards that you open up and it says something. You could probably put that in the magazine.
Oh, like a pop-up.
Yeah, like page 3 is this song.
Yeah, not
No,
not a
yeah,
chip
not a
that
pop
plays
up. Like the
music.
song is
No.
is popping up
We
in
sh-
your ears.
But it should have a pop up as well. I think
Okay.
that's true. Like opens up the microchip, whatever plays the music,
Uh-huh.
and then it also has a pop up of I don't know, maybe
Maybe a mushroom.
our
Yeah.
oh right, because you gotta have the mushrooms in there. So the pop up would be just a mushroom in it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What if we put like a Tamagotchi in there?
That's really good. The licensing might be tricky. Would you be
How-
willing to settle for a gigapet?
Yeah, sure. The kitty cat one would be great.
Okay.
Okay, well here's one issue that you might run into is also cost. Like I'm wondering how many of these magazines are you trying to put out? Is it
I think like 12 would be good.
okay? So okay,
Do you have like customers yet? Like, have you sold this to anyone?
I have 18 followers on Instagram at
Whoa.
Magic Mike's Magic Mushrooms.
okay. Well then I guess I've never heard a talk there. Okay, that's way more than we.
Yeah, that's
have managed.
18.
So that's,
yeah, gosh.
Whew, okay.
Yeah, growing
it's-
fast.
I don't know. I don't know why we're teaching you here. It sounds like you've really got it.
Totally.
Well, I mean,
Phew.
like, okay, so we've got the pop up, we've got the song,
You've got the following.
you've got the following. Clearly, you've got the fan base.
yeah.
And then we've got the poems. I mean, there's
Okay,
feel-
I've got something here.
what?
So, and this is people don't know about this, but I've heard this joke, and I don't know how to work it in, but maybe you say, Mike Tyson is a fun guy, because and I'm sorry, let me explain it because this is science.
Fun
So
guy. Well, you know, Mike
mushrooms
Tyson,
are
I mean,
actually
he's a bit of a controversial figure. Obviously, he does have fun. You know, he was on The Hangover and things like that.
Yeah.
But he seems to be known, I mean, for anger issues, abuse allegations. I mean, I don't know if he really is that fun of a guy.
So in the context of what I was saying, it would actually be in reference to the mushroom.
It's a mushroom joke, dude.
It's
So-
the mushroom.
I need to explain it. So mushrooms are in the
If he looks like a
the
mushroom,
grouping
does he look like a
of
mushroom?
fungus. It's a type of fungal thing. So whenever you call Mike Tyson the mushroom,
Uh-huh.
when you call that mushroom a fun guy. Yeah, I know this is hard. So when you call that
If
a
you just
fun
give me a
guy,
moment to work this out. If you just
Maybe
fun
it
guy.
would work
If you-
So
better
the
with
joke-
Agatha Christie. Agatha Christie's a fun guy.
Now Agatha Christie parties, so that I get more.
Yeah,
So-
she
I
can
guess-
fucking rage.
Agatha Christie, huge partier.
Okay, just- we had
definitely a
Mike
fun
Tyson.
guy.
we had Mike Tyson on that flight, and Mike Tyson was actually really deep,
Whoa.
and like really fun.
You're
And
friends
I
with Mike
thought-
Tyson now? What?
I mean, a business
Yeah,
associate.
I guess we
It's
haven't
not-
talked. We talked about this earlier in the year, but your new friends now that you find celebrity. Your previous friend was the guy who was fired from SNL for being racist, and now it's Mike Tyson. I don't like these are bad influences on you.
When did
Honestly, like, he hasn't
somebody
even
get fired from
Tried for my
SNL?
ear.
Oh, he wasn't actually on an episode. He got fired. He got hired and fired within like a 24-hour period.
Oh, I
that
remember
guy.
this now. That was
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
London
Yeah.
and him, they
We
fly
hung
on
out.
private jets all the time together, and
Yeah, we
they're on a
don't-
Words
now-
with Friends group.
Yeah, I will say, like, so with that guy, we don't actually hang any, like, it's just business. It's just business.
Yeah, you're just like financially involved with him. Yeah, it's not like a social thing.
No, because that some of the stuff that guy says, I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay, not my cup of tea. But no, me and Mike Tyson, he's barely made any attempts at my ears. So
Sure. Anyway, we're talking about Mike Tyson a lot. I guess we should put that in the magazine. So maybe you've got your poem about Mike Tyson. Maybe you do like an entire spread of just pictures of him boxing. That'll take up like 4 or 5 pages.
Totally, I
Because right now we're just trying to make content. So anything goes.
Well, you know what? I'll figure it out, you guys. I want to hear about you guys and your experience with mushrooms.
Oh.
oh boy,
Well, I mean, I can talk about my first, the first
Yeah.
time I tried.
yeah.
So I was probably, I want to say in first grade. And we, when you're having a pizza party, you sort of assume that every pizza, especially when you're dealing with kids that age, is probably going to be just pepperoni or cheese, maybe sausage or something like that. But I didn't realize what I was grabbing, and it turned out to be it had pepperoni and mushrooms on it.
And did you have visuals or like what?
Oh yeah, Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to speak for you, but
Oh yeah, I mean I
tell me
blacked
later.
out. I blacked out entirely.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
Just out like a light the second I
'Cause he
had
had-
that pizza mushroom.
yeah, because you had gotten hit in the head at that point, right? You're taking the bite, and then a ball came out of nowhere and hit you in the head, and you were out.
Yeah, the guy who was mugging me had thrown a baseball at my head to try to knock me out.
Yeah,
It's these pickpocketers, man.
Have you two
Yeah.
known each other since first grade?
no, I've read his memoir.
Oh.
He read my memoir. I think Dr. London transferred to the vet clinic that we were living at when I was maybe second grade.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cute.
just I mean, once again, like most of what I know about Cameron is from his book.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh yeah, I mean we didn't even talk until we made this podcast.
no, we refused to talk.
Yeah.
That was pointed. Anyway, for my first experience with shrooms, so I had it was like yourself. It was a little bit later in life. It wasn't as early. But I was a teenager, and we were having beef stroganoff, and it's made with, of course, beef and like pasta, and there were some shrooms in there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of wild. I ate it and then felt really full afterwards and then took a nap.
Oh, no.
So
Oh no, that's
yeah.
crazy. That's like Thanksgiving
I-
level.
I should clarify, like, it was cooked with the mushrooms, but I don't really eat mushrooms, so I ate around it. But like the infusion from the mushrooms, I'm
Right.
sure got
Yeah.
man, it hit me. Ugh. So anyways, that's how we're super relatable on this.
Totally. I feel like I've known you guys my whole life, dude. Like I love this what we got going right now.
Yeah, you know you would love this private plane we've got going. Like we invite all these celebrities on there. Like, you already said Mike Tyson. I would imagine letting Mike Tyson try the mushroom version.
Well, I
of
mean,
Mike
but there has to
Tyson.
be a seat available, Dr. Linden, right? I mean, you kind of implied that there wasn't a free seat, so, you know.
I don't
how
need
could
a
you
seat. I could just like sit on the ground or whatever, or on somebody's lap.
For a business associate, like it'd be fine. Like this magazine actually sounds really good, and it sounds like something really relatable, and it sounds like you're going to bring a lot of viewpoints with your whatever that dance whenever you bring a girl over a thing that you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So, I bet you could talk to all the other guys about that. Like it'd be great. So yeah, there's plenty of room for business associates. Sure.
Totally. If you guys need like a stripper on the plane too, I could do that. I could like dance all around the plane.
Okay.
yeah.
So
So
maybe
when you had said earlier that you're not the stripper Magic Mike, you're like, no, I'm just pantless because it's just guys here.
Yeah.
But you also do enjoy stripping.
Yeah, totally. Oh my God, I love it. I love it, especially bachelorette parties.
Oh, okay. So people are paying you to strip.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of am a guy who does a lot of odd jobs, and that's one of my
Yeah.
odd jobs. Pretty odd, huh?
Yeah, jack off
Hey.
all trades. Yeah.
You know, I want to say I think it's your birthdays, your jobs, whatever. I think it's fine, and I will vote accordingly. Like I think it's very okay that you have worked this job.
No one was saying otherwise, Dr. London. Again, you were not going to be fired from this podcast because someone mentioned. I actually don't know what's going on in your head, Dr. London.
No, there's a mention that, like you said, it's okay that's their job.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna say, of course that's okay, and also it's okay to have whatever crazy birthday thing, whatever. Like it's all fine.
A day of
And
my
just because
birth.
it's different from me culturally, like I don't know that I've ever been paid to strip. Now I've no, I've never been paid. No, I haven't been paid for that. No.
Well, any sort of transaction is payment, Dr. London. It doesn't have to just be cash.
Like if
Okay,
you and I shake hands, one person paid the other for a handshake with a handshake.
Okay. I guess, yeah, then maybe I've a little bit. But anyway, we've all had to pay for whatever medical school stuff, whatever way. But let's talk about, so you've done some stripping work then.
Totally. I mean, if a girl calls me and is like, "Hey, Mike, I got this bachelorette party. Can you bring shrooms?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I can. And I can bring you a little something extra." And then she says, "Okay, whatever." And then I show up. I have a boom box, and I just turn it on, and usually it's Creep from Radiohead comes on.
And do they let you into the house at this point?
Yeah, I'm like, "Hey, ladies, I'm the shroom guy. I got the shrooms." And of course they let me in. They asked for that.
Yeah.
And then
That much, yeah.
they asked for that much. And then I turn on Creep by Radiohead and I start to cry. And when I start to cry, they all go, "Oh, Mike, what's wrong?" And then I'm like, "Fooled ya." And then I change the song, and then it's barrel, 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 barrel. You know what's that song? It's a sexy song.
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, that's the one. So
Is that it?
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, you got us, Mike." And I'm like, I'm here to strip for you. Is that okay? And they say, yeah. And then,
Okay, you get consent. That's
yeah,
good.
I guess. And then I just do it. I body roll, I worm.
Now that you mention it, okay, I've definitely done my share of stripping then, because I have also shown up to places where I was supposed to bring something, and then I have also set up a boombox
Right.
and started playing music
And doing the
I
worm.
I have also started doing the worm, and like those times. The most recent one was like there's a kidney transplant, and it was me bringing the kidney,
Oh.
and
Yeah.
so I'm we're in the OR or whatever, and I'm like, hey, got it, and I'm like, hey, and I got something extra for you too.
Oh. Your job
and
is
then
just like Scrubs. It's just like Scrubs.
Totally.
Yeah, so I'm doing the worm. Anyway, it's so crazy how our jobs are so similar.
Yeah, I mean, I told you,
You
I
as a-
feel like we have a lot in common.
Yeah, you grow mushrooms and try to put out a mushroom magazine, and also are a stripper.
Yeah.
And I'm a doctor and so on.
does a-
So
I mean, who does a podcast? Isn't that not the same thing? Her podcast is this magazine. His
That's
podcast is
true.
this. His podcast is a magazine.
Totally. That's me. And, listen, you guys, it's a zine. I only said magazine so Dr. London would understand.
Right, sorry,
But
it's a
zines,
zine.
they're way cooler than magazines because
Yeah.
they're smaller, they're less professional looking, and they're made at home.
It implies that it's DIY.
limousines are longer.
Yeah.
That's common misconception. So limousines.
Yeah.
We're talking about zines. So limousines are actually the longer version of a car.
Yeah.
So that might be a point of confusion for you there. I know you said they're shorter
And
or
I'm
something.
really sorry about this. Dr. London is just learning about some of these words. Limousine was part of our lessons this week.
Cameron,
So-
be honest. How's this guy's bedside manner? It's gotta be out of 10. What would you rate it?
Oh, well, he's kind of fussy when I start reading the book at his bedside. But by the time he quiets down and finally falls asleep, he's great. He's out the whole night.
Oh, that's very sweet. You read him a book to fall asleep. I love that.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Right.
And by the way, Harry Potter, in that world, I think, their beliefs are their beliefs,
Yep.
and I think it's great. And that's just
Dr. London, yeah, you're fine. You're okay. You are so stressed right now. You need to calm down.
Are you starting to sound more and more like a Christian? Are you a Christian, Dr. London?
yeah. And so we all have these different things that we kind of put our beliefs in, and so you may celebrate this, I may celebrate that. So for me though, I'm being professional, which means that I am not allowed to believe in anything. Except for medicine.
I get
Except for
So-
medicine, yeah.
And also contractually via Koala Cola, we are not allowed to claim any particular faith or belief.
Well, we do
or-
believe in the great taste of Cola, which is a big part of.
It tastes just like Down Under.
It tastes just like Down Under. Thank you,
That's
Crampy.
right. Thank you, Crampy.
So, but I do about the zines. I love you. You do make a good point because you hear magazine, you're like, oh, is this? I'm just flipping through GQ, and it's so professional. But a zine, you know that it was made by a person while they were stoned. You know that the paper that it was on cost them too much money to make, and is also still just terrible quality somehow.
Yeah, you got.
And you know that they got their friends to doodle in it some. And that's supposed to mean something to you. These are all amazing things.
Yeah, and it's very underground. It's very cool and hip.
Yeah.
In the basement, yeah. Okay. So it sounds really fun. It sounds like you've really got some different segments, different new points hopefully to bring
Thanks
in.
to you.
Yeah, so
We've really expanded this out. Yeah. I would like maybe some royalties from this. How much are you selling per mag? Per zine?
I was thinking like 43 cents.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that sounds sustainable. For the 12 you're going to sell?
Yeah, I want it 43 cents total. So whatever 43 divided by 12 is, that's how many cents each.
Oh, wow. 43 divided by 12? So you're just... It's 12... Okay, so it's 12 total. Oh, sorry. It's 48 total for all 12 copies of the magazine.
43.
So all your
Yeah,
buddies.
so
Okay, all your buddies are like going in on it together. Okay, great.
this is one of those things that they teach you this, and in med school how to do this quick. So that's that does come out to be 3.583 repeating threes.
Perfect.
For,
You can
See,
write me a
I-
check for that, right?
I'd say go ahead and round that up maybe. So it's
Oh.
3.59 cents. So
Can we
you're
write
gonna
you a check
include-
for that? Are you trying to sell us? So one of the 12 copies is for us.
No, I'm just sure. I guess I could give you one, but I'm just wondering how people will pay me 3.59 cents. Do they have to write me a check?
Well, I think do you take crypto?
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll send you some Litecoins.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't afford to send Bitcoin
No.
yet.
Oh God, no.
Not even like that value of Bitcoin. It's too expensive to just work with. So we only deal in Litecoin, and
Yeah.
even that, we're trying to move away from that and into
Koala coin.
Perfect. Hit me up on Robinhood. Give me 3 cents of koala coin and
3.59.
3.59, and I will send you a zine.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah.
Well, before I want to say something here. A lot of people have talked about the environmental aspect and impact of cryptocurrencies, but I do want to say for Koala Coin, which is owned by Koala Cola, no koalas were killed in the making of these digital coins.
Oh yeah. I should emphasize the same thing. Yeah.
There's been lots of online rumors that the servers are powered by a machine that is fed koalas as sort of a fuel, and that is absurd. That is
it's crazy.
ridiculous.
Just because the koala population drops very suddenly at peak hours of factory work.
Yeah.
Just because it's climate change. It's climate change, and frankly, I think that the lesson here is like we need to give to green energy. We need to really go green.
We really need to go green, and we need to stop accusing Koala Cola of all these things that they clearly didn't do.
And also maybe stop checking up so much on the Koala Cola factories, because like these guys,
They're busy.
They're great. They're great. Oh yeah, busy as well. But I was gonna say, like, we can vouch for them. They're great. We can legally, contractually have to vouch for them. So
yeah, we're just sorry. I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, if we can, I'm trying to say I want to subscribe to your zine. Is what I'm getting at.
that's what that was.
Thank you.
getting at.
I knew you two were gonna be cool, and I
And
was
want
right.
I want to maybe put the Jock Doc podcast seal of approval on it as well. Our endorsement. I mean, Dr.
Yeah.
London, is that an issue?
I think
he is basically a doctor, Dr. London.
Yeah.
well
Because we know
yeah, and
the medical advantages of getting shroomed up.
Psilocybin.
See,
Yeah.
that's medicine talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, having talked about maybe, Magic Mike, you joining us for these plane rides and for, going on this private jet, I feel like we could really talk things out, make some real, do some networking, make some connections. I think our seal of approval is the least of what we can do for this. I feel like we've kind of made some progress on this. So if you wouldn't mind, Magic Mike, I feel like it's about time to work on our chores. It's just, it's one of these things where you keep putting it off, but we have to get these chores done.
Yeah, for maybe our listeners who haven't listened in a while, or maybe you're a new listener, basically Dr. London and I have been neglecting our chores, neglecting our to-do list for a really, really long time. Like we haven't been doing the dishes, we haven't been doing our laundry. The trash has started attracting bats, which is not great.
We haven't even drained the moat.
We haven't drained the moat in months, and I know someone's living down there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the gators and crocodiles are obviously fine, but it's the amount of stragglers, all the people that get stuck in there, because who gets in trouble for that? That's us.
That's our liability. Yeah, people don't know that, but your home insurance doesn't cover things like someone getting hurt in your moat.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
And so we created this really cool chore wheel, which is this big wheel that has all of our thousands of chores on it that we've got to get done. And every week we spin it, and whatever it lands on, we have to do that chore, even if we don't want to.
Thousands.
Yeah, we're way behind on everything. It sucks.
Yeah, well, we get kind of hundreds of new chores a day.
Yeah, and the pace we're going at, one a week, is not catching up at all. Things keep getting stacked higher and higher. It's really ugh.
In any case, so Magic Mike, would you mind giving the chore wheel a spin? And you can do it. I don't know if you want to play your boombox song for it, if that'll help you get into it.
I'm just gonna sing a couple lines.
Okay.
I'm a creep. Yeah, I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here.
You're making yourself tear up and cry.
I know, God damn it. At least you two are cool. I know I can cry in front and sing in front of you.
Yeah, it's just you felt really touched by you singing that.
What I love also is that, you know, you did bring out the boombox, but you played the a cappella version of you singing it.
That's my style, baby. That's Magic Mike. All right, let's spin this wheel.
Oh no.
What did I get?
It's just one of the many things we don't really want to have to do.
But and Cameron, I feel like you're not gonna. Now I can see how you might feel left out for this one.
Well, yeah.
So, of course it says, design your dream private jet interior. So Cameron, I guess if you...
It's hard for me to picture what a private jet is like, because I haven't been on, just because there's all the seats have been taken, like you were saying, right, Dr. London?
Well, I mean, I like to put my feet up, but I was gonna say, like, I can't see a reason why you would be on a private jet in the first place. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me.
I could never even imagine myself doing that or anything like that. I don't know. Yep.
But I guess I'll go first. So I already kind of have the setup that I like to some extent.
Oh, okay. So you've done this chore then. I
mean, I had a say in what we're working with whenever I designed it. Sorry, I didn't design all of it. Like, there were certain regulations for how many seats and
it's like a shared thing, right? Don't you own it with other celebs?
Yeah, I mean, it was the Jock Podcast Patreon really that paid for it, but
right.
No, we definitely the celebs really appreciate riding with us. So with us meaning me and Crampy.
Yeah.
So Crampy Koala, that is. So anyway, so for one thing, of course, what any good private jet's gonna have is the seats are all those giant hand style seats. And you know, to up it a little bit to make it fancier, you of course each of the fingers can bend back a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can recline the head as well as the full hand.
Not to tell you what to do at all, but think about this: fingerless gloves.
Oh.
Okay. No, it's kind of funny because it's almost like you think you know what a private jet is like.
I know. No. Look, I'm not trying to speak out of my...
No, it's funny. It's funny that you think that.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is out of my wheelhouse. It's above my pay grade. But I would just think it would be cool, you know, kind of fingerless gloves. They're so cool. I wear them anytime I put on my Nightmare Before Christmas t-shirt.
Yeah.
And I
know.
I just thought they would be cool. I don't know. But I've never been on a private plane, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, and it's so funny that you think that would be appropriate. So anyway.
What about like snacks?
So snacks. Good. Okay. I don't want to cut you off here, but I feel like you're gonna throw in another thing that doesn't really make sense.
No, I was just gonna say like maybe chips or something would be. People like chips.
That's cute.
Oh no, I was just kidding. Oh, I was just joking. You definitely wouldn't give out chips on the private plane.
No, I guess. Oh, you've you've flown commercial before. Yeah, okay. That makes so no, so on a private jet, of course, for my private jet at least, we have shrimp, grilled shrimp. And so normally on a normal jet you couldn't have freshly grilled. You can, have it put everything on the grill right there. But of course for private jet you can. That's not a huge thing to manage. So we do have all the grilled shrimp there, and that's the main thing. And then people who are allergic to that
aren't invited.
They aren't invited, yeah. Yeah, and so that's the main thing. And then of course the music is very honestly the oddest coincidence today, but it is an a cappella version of Creep by Radiohead. It's not Magic Mike's, although I am excited to put that on the rotation.
Yeah. It's the version from the Social Network trailer where it was like a kids choir singing.
Yeah, I was just gonna recommend that. I love that one. It makes me cry instantly.
Oh gosh, you're tearing up again, Mike. Here, get Mike some Kleenex. Yeah.
Oh, just little kids singing about being little creeps.
Oh, just touches your heart.
So it does alternate between that version and Crampy had. I mean, you all know from Crampy Cola their publicity campaign. Crampy also sings Crampy's own version of it. Anyway, so it alternates between those two versions, and then in terms of the lighting, it's only laser lights. So you walk on, and there's no like spotlight, there's no regular lights, there's only laser lights, and it can kind of make it tough to navigate, but it also kind of makes it fun to navigate. So
because I'm a cramp,
yeah,
koala cola. Why the hell am I drinking something that's not koala cola? This drink doesn't belong here.
This drink
I'm really surprised that you know about that.
That's actually getting me right now.
No, it's just I don't know what it is. If it's the note progression or what.
Okay, so Magic Mike, do you have what's your ideal private jet? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to work with our vision and for ours, but if you were to personalize your own private jet,
I would want the whole jet to be an aquarium. So
okay,
you have to wear. You're basically scuba diving the whole time you're in the air. You got an oxygen tank.
That makes sense.
And there's fish, and there's one shark, one snake.
Oh,
okay.
Is it a nice shark and a nice snake, or are they mean?
It's a toss-up.
Oh, you don't even know.
No, part of the fun.
Okay, so but one of them's gonna be nice.
It may be.
So is it a different shark and a different snake each time you ride in the plane, or is that their moods change a lot?
It's a different shark and a different snake, because you don't want that to be the whole life, Just one plane
it's just flying
ride.
Back and forth, yeah. Travel is so exhausting.
Oh,
they would hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I would want.
Okay.
Is it just full of water, or is it like
Salt
is
water.
there salt water, but do you have like a little castle or something, like a real aquarium, or like a
we could do a little aquarium castle.
Little seagrass, or
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Would your ideal private plane be able to? I guess just if you have a powerful enough engine, then it would be able to take off even while filled with water.
Yeah, but only if you've got like 2 people in there.
Okay.
Otherwise,
so
it's
you
too
understand
heavy.
this issue. Okay. So, and I would guess that if you have more than 2 people on there, you can just go ahead and keep it on the ground and have it a private plane party without taking off at all.
I love that. You don't have to go anywhere. Also, I would like there to be a little mold just to add character in there.
My guess is that there will be mold regardless of whether you try to make there be mold or not.
Good.
Kind of a fun guy.
Yeah, just a little fun guy over here.
it's a guy who's fun. So the guy's having a good time. So that's why you would call him a fun guy. A fun guy. It's a fun.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Sorry. Yeah.
Cameron,
What? Sorry.
But I think so. I think Magic Mike is finished with explaining his part. So it's your.
I feel embarrassed.
So if you-
I feel embarrassed now because I feel like everything I suggest, like
the crazy hypothetical that you that you would have
Even
access, like that you would
be able to
you'd
look
anywhere
inside
near.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or look at a
I'm-
picture of one. I couldn't even.
Yeah, like that part of Austin Powers, whenever they're on a plane, on a private jet, you aren't allowed to watch that.
Yeah, you cut it out because on the VHS you physically cut the tape of that scene,
That's right.
and so it just jumps from. But I mean, so I guess in my plane, I mean, I hope it's not too like weird or whatever. I guess just comfortable seats and
That's so cute.
just.
No, go on, keep going. I'm gonna play this on.
It'd be cool to like if everyone got a pillow or maybe like a drink of their choice, alcoholic beverage if they want, or maybe a coffee or tea.
Tea.
and this is your.
Maybe like a meal.
Okay.
Maybe they.
Oh man, that was good. Oh, sorry, you keep going if you got more. That's man, this
it's
is
just
rich.
you know.
This is,
It'd be cool if there was maybe someone who came down and picked up the trash after you're done with your meal.
This guy's are you a comedian?
No,
Have you
I
thought
mean
of doing
I'm a
stand-up?
podcast producer primarily. I do consider myself to have a decent sense of humor. But
I've never thought that before today. But
This is hilarious.
you got something here.
Yeah.
and I guess
Like you could
want
take this on the road,
I think
just
you
wanna-
found
And
your voice.
and it's gonna have to be on the road, of course, because you're not gonna travel by air. I know that much.
mostly I just want to be able to get to where I'm going safely so I can see my friends and family.
No, that's good. That's good. I love that. That's so. To go back. Wow. Anyway, so that's I think that's the last of the chores. If we want to call that a proper answer, I guess we can. So Magic Mike, if you want to go ahead and burn the chore wheel alive.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna go ahead and there's a furnace there, and it's gonna scream, but you're gonna go ahead and just you're gonna close that furnace.
All right. I've made lobster before. I can handle this.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're gonna want to close the furnace before the screams get like very audible.
Okay.
Okay,
It went well.
great. I feel like we've learned so much about you, Magic Mike. If you could just share with our listeners, how do people keep up with you after this?
Okay, I'm a big fan of this other new podcast called the Stoner Chicks Podcast. Okay? I love stoners. I love chicks. It's a podcast about stoner chicks. Well, it's a cannabis comedy podcast.
Okay. That's a whole new. I'm glad it wasn't based on shrooms
No.
or mushroom things, because I feel like we've exhausted that topic completely. So this is
Totally. It's
Okay,
4 ladies.
cannabis.
They're all comics from Seattle/New Mexico.
Oh yeah, the Seattle/New Mexico scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
Constantly having to go back and forth. That drive kills people.
well, they've thought of opening up the borders, on a very real level, right?
Yeah, I hope to go to New Mexico without a passport sometime
Yeah.
soon.
Just like they've joined those so much. Okay.
So
that's
yeah, you
great.
can find them on Instagram at Stoner Chicks Podcast, or on Twitter at Stoner Chicks Pod, or on Facebook.com/Stoner Chicks 69420.
Okay.
So there's that.
Huh, I don't understand the numerical aspect. Like, I'm trying to do the math here.
You never will, Doc. You never will.
Okay.
It's
All right,
Dr. Lennon. It's like it's a math joke. You're not a math guy. You're a science guy.
I felt like I was following the math, but it was like once they got to the, I don't know, it's 69. Anyway, I guess it sounds nice. But
It's a reference to the Ariana Grande song 3435.
okay. And if you add it to get
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much to Magic Mike for being on the podcast. Thank you to our producer Cameron. Thank you to Crampy Koala.
It tastes just like down under.
Thank you to Digital in the House.
Dear Mike Tyson, dear Mike favorite. You're my favorite. My little golden top, my knockout guy. My knockout guy. Every time I eat you, every time I eat you, just like if we were to bout. Man. Dear Mike Tyson, dear Mike Tyson.
My name is Dr. Smith.com, and this has been the Jock Podcast. See ya.